What does it take to bring down a criminal empire that's been flooding a country with drugs for years? On April 9th, 2025, New Zealand police made a move that rocked the criminal underworld, arresting the national vice president of the Comancheros motorcycle club in Howick, Auckland. This wasn't just another drug bust. This was the final domino in a years-long takedown of one of the most feared gangs in the Pacific. Today, we're diving deep into this massive operation. Who was arrested? How did police outsmart one of the smartest crime syndicates in the region? And what does this mean for the global war on drugs? Let's break it all down. Segment 1. Who are the Comancheros? Let's start at the beginning. The Comancheros Motorcycle Club may sound like a group of rebellious bikers, but make no mistake, they're a powerful and violent transnational criminal organization. Founded in Sydney, Australia in 1968, the Comancheros quickly evolved from a biker gang into a full-blown criminal syndicate. Their notoriety exploded after the 1984 Milpera massacre, a deadly shootout with rival gang the Bandidos that left 7 people dead, including an innocent bystander. By the 2000s, the Comancheros were running their operations like a multinational cartel. They expanded their empire to include drug trafficking, money laundering, arms dealing, and extortion. Methamphetamine quickly became their main moneymaker, but they've also trafficked cocaine, ecstasy, and cannabis. And then, they set their sights on New Zealand. Since the early 2010s, the Comancheros have built a powerful presence in Aotearoa. Using Auckland and Tauranga's ports, they turned New Zealand into a drug smuggling hub, exploiting gaps in security and corrupt insiders to move massive drug shipments into the Pacific. But what really makes the Comancheros so dangerous is their structure. Think of it like a corporation, complete with presidents, vice presidents, accountants, enforcers, and logistics coordinators. Their network is tight, secretive, and protected by encrypted communications and layers of loyalty. Since 2018, they've been linked to over $100 million in drug seizures in New Zealand alone, including a record-breaking 613-kilogram meth haul in 2022, smuggled from Malaysia. Their global connections? Even more terrifying. They've worked with cartels in Mexico, Asia, and Australia to keep the drug pipelines flowing. But now, it seems the pipeline is finally drying up. Segment 2. The arrest that shook the underworld. Fast forward to April 9th, 2025. After years of surveillance, undercover operations, and international cooperation, police finally made their move, arresting the Comancheros' national vice president in a targeted sting. Because of New Zealand's strict name suppression laws, we'll refer to him as John Doe, a 36-year-old Auckland man and the last high-ranking leader of the gang still walking free. This arrest was the culmination of 2 major drug busts, both linked to the port of Tauranga, a key gateway in the Comancheros' smuggling operations. Here's how it went down. Back in December 2024, 2 men, both 28, were caught trying to break into a shipping container. Inside were 5 suitcases packed with 200 kilograms of meth, street value about $30 million. Police swooped in, and the operation quickly expanded. A week later, 2 more men were arrested, including John Doe himself. And he wasn't just involved. He was allegedly the one orchestrating the entire import. He's now facing multiple serious charges: importing methamphetamine at Tauranga's port, attempting to possess cocaine for supply, participating in an organized criminal group. In New Zealand, these are heavy charges that can carry sentences of 7 years or more, especially for someone high up the chain. And with this arrest, law enforcement officially dismantled the gang's leadership structure in New Zealand. Segment 3. The bigger picture. So, why does this matter beyond New Zealand? Because the Comancheros are not a local gang. They're a global player in the international drug trade. Their operations stretch from Auckland to Mexico, Malaysia to Sydney. The drugs they traffic, meth, cocaine, and fentanyl, have devastated communities across the Pacific. By taking down John Doe, New Zealand police sent a clear message: no one is untouchable. This arrest also fits into a global crackdown on organized crime. Around the world, in the US, the La Nueva Familia Michoacana cartel leaders were recently charged for trafficking fentanyl. In Ecuador, the fugitive head of Los Choneros was found hiding in an underground bunker. And in Mexico, the search for El Mencho, boss of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, continues. This is no coincidence. It's part of a global effort to disrupt international drug supply chains. According to a 2023 UN report, cocaine production is at a record high, and meth seizures have doubled in multiple regions. So, while the Comancheros are just one piece of the puzzle, their downfall is a massive win for everyone fighting organized crime. Segment 4. What happens next? With their top brass behind bars, the Comancheros are on the ropes, but the fight isn't over. The legal process will now begin. John Doe's case could stretch on for months, possibly years. Prosecutors are building their case using wiretaps, surveillance footage, and insider testimony. Police have already seized millions in assets linked to the gang: cash, luxury cars, and property. But dismantling a gang isn't just about arrests. It's about cutting off the supply chain. That's why New Zealand authorities are working with international agencies to track the overseas suppliers feeding the Comancheros' operation. Back home, there's hope that this disruption will reduce the availability of meth and cocaine on the streets. These drugs have torn apart families and communities, and the Comancheros were fueling that devastation. But here's the hard truth. Someone else will try to take their place. With the Comancheros weakened, rival gangs like the Mongrel Mob or Black Power could try to muscle in on their territory. That could lead to more violence and turf wars. So, while this is a major victory, the war on drugs is far from over. Segment 5. Final thoughts. So, what can we learn from this? First, persistence pays off. Years of investigation, surveillance, and collaboration finally paid off for New Zealand police. Second, no criminal empire is too powerful to fall. Even a global syndicate like the Comancheros can be taken down. And third, the fight must continue. The arrest is a turning point, but not the end of the road. Communities still need support. Addiction recovery programs need funding, and law enforcement needs ongoing resources. The arrest of John Doe marks a major milestone in New Zealand's fight against organized crime. It shows what's possible when law enforcement plays the long game, and plays it smart. That's it for today's deep dive. If you found this video informative, smash that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe so you don't miss our next story. Got thoughts on this case? Think the Comancheros will bounce back? Or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your take in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp out there.